Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be giving you a reaction and review to, if I read the katakana right, Melancholy by CIDER. Anyway, if you want to see the reaction, I've just done it, so as usual, I'm about to give you the review. If you want to watch the reaction and hear the song with me, then pause this video, click the link in the description below, and it'll open up another player, another YouTube-style player, where you can basically just watch the reaction with me before I give you this review. So pause me now if you need to. If not, here comes the review. Okay, here we go. Like I was saying in that reaction, this just sounded, I mean, it reminded me of, like what's his name? Gen Hoshino, like the real sort of stuff that just gets massive amounts of sales in Japan. It was that funky, had a slightly disco-y, dancey quality, had a real bright pop sound to it. It had the, innocent, harmless vocals. That particular style of male vocal seems to be, something that comes up in a lot of the big Japanese mainstream hits, whether it be, like I said, a sort of Gen Hoshino style stuff, or sometimes with more of the middle-of-the-road indie rock bands who get quite big here. A lot of them use that kind of relaxed style of singing, male voice sort of thing. I hope I'm not going to get copyrighted just for having used the melody there, am I? Oh, God. So that was something where, it whole thing felt like a perfect example of what you'd expect to be a big hit single around about now. I guess maybe the style's changed a little bit in the last couple of years, but yeah, it really feels like that kind of thing. So was it good, or was it just kind of pandering to a pop culture sound? Considering I don't know the artist's sound, that might be their default sound anyway. I actually thought this was really likable, and there was a lot of things that I liked about it that maybe I wouldn't have expected. I mean, ironically, that vocal style, I'm going to be honest with you, is one that actually, usually if you were just asking me straight off the bat, if you gave me that a cappella and said, is this the sort of thing where you'd like this song, without me hearing the rest of it, I'd probably gone, this doesn't sound like my sort of thing at all. I don't really like that sort of low energy male vocal sound. I tend to like something which has, in a pop song, I kind of like the vocals to have a little bit more punch, but this worked. I'm going to be honest, in this it worked. And I think one of the reasons was because this song kind of was exuding a lot of charm. I think that kind of also works with the Gen Hoshino stuff as well. Or Hoshino Gen, whichever way you want to put that. I think that's what works for him, and I think that's what works here, is there is a kind of friendly likability to it. It just kind of sounds like the song is, I was saying this about another song, She is Summer, the artist. I gave the first listen to them quite recently, and I said a similar thing. There is certain vocals where you feel like the artist is just kind of chilling out on a Sunday, just talking to you. It's like, are they singing? Are they talking to you? You don't know. It's a hard thing to nail. It's a hard thing to get that really right. And if you get it wrong, it can just sound like sleepy vocals. But sometimes you got to have the right song, the right mix. This is something where maybe I should do a little bit more research. As someone who's worked with music all my life, I should probably do a little bit more research and see what the technicalities behind that are, which makes that work. But it works here, and in some other examples that, like I say, we can think of and mention. Certainly, when you give me your comments on this one, tell me if you can think of any other songs that sort of appeal to that sound, kind of have that quality to them. Now, with this, what was really fun is, like I say, we could say on the surface, just listening to it, it has very much a pop sound. Like I say, very much of the time, very much mainstream radio-friendly sound. It did do some things, though, that to me showed a real artistic flair. First of all was the fact that the arrangement, as I pointed out, the arrangement, I'm talking about sort of lengthwise, front to back of the song, was really interesting. It didn't just sort of do the normal verse, chorus, bridge, chorus thing that we're so used to hearing it as being the staple. Nothing wrong with that, but, it can become a little bit too easily expected. This went in an interesting direction in that it had that sort of, unless I've got to admit, and I was so caught up with the visuals, unless I kind of tripped over what the actual arrangement was, it felt like it was going in a very different direction. It felt like the bridge occurred at an unexpected point after the second verse. There was that guitar solo, which I really liked. It had that sort of funky quality to it, but it was done with a fair bit of distortion. It's easy with a pop song to back off on doing too much distortion on like those guitar bits, but sometimes it works. Sometimes you want to really punch through the energy, so having a bit of a heavier guitar sound works, and that for me was great, especially considering the vocals have been quite relaxed. That bit where the guitar came in and did the solo, I know probably more fanatical guitar fans might not consider it a solo, but that part to me really gave a lot of energy. It really punched through and really threw you into the next part of the song. So there was sort of arrangement ideas that I really liked about this. Like I said, the production was very high quality, but of the style. And on top of that really was the fact that the melody seemed to be well constructed as well. The verses were interesting. Now, as is often the case with pop songs, and you guys notice as well as I do, sometimes they rely so much on the chorus, you know, making a catchy chorus that can't get out of your head, that they won't put that much effort into the verses. We hear this with a lot of pop songs, less so in Japan, and this was a really good example of the opposite of that, where you've got a song where the verse sounds melodic. There was a really good melody running throughout this that developed nicely over the course of the song, and as a result, it kind of paid enough dues, almost, so to speak, that the chorus didn't have to have a big melody. It just was like a na-na-na-na-na-na, basically just an earworm, just a simple little repeated looped chant thing just that's designed to get into your head. So that kind of worked. Those sorts of choruses often are easy to hate if they come off of the back of, you know, a rather uninspiring arrangement or an uninspiring verse melody, because you kind of feel like you haven't been given much, and then it's like, oh, now I'm having my brain pierced by this sort of repeated thing going round, which is clearly just designed to get caught in my head. This, however, like I say, the choruses were not rushed into, they were given time to build up to. The verse melodies were interesting. There was an interesting use of the bridge with the little guitar bit in there, the guitar solo. Just very, very likable. Now, this also, and well executed, this also brings us onto the video, which I think I could give most of the same comments for, in that video, everything about that we've seen before. You know, the things where the frames are drawn on, the thing where it kind of is supposed to look like a one-shot video, but at the same time, obviously not. And, you know, the director's playing with the way that the camera shifts between some of the bits in a very obvious way. It's all sort of intentionally lighthearted and fun. You know, having one person walking around and then they meet other people and they go to various places, like almost like it's a moving theatre set. Yeah, we've seen that before. But again, really well executed and with tons of charm. I liked the way that the girls who were doing all the acting and the dancing, they were really expressive the way they did it. It was kind of fun. It was upbeat. It was fun to watch, and that's. I guess that's kind of like that's the best way to express both my feelings towards the song and the video. The song was fun to listen to. The video was fun to watch, and in neither case, although both of them were of very familiar territory or very familiar style, neither of them felt phoned in. Both of them felt like they had a lot of love and effort put into them. Like these people who made this song, who made the video, they just naturally do like that style of pop, which is so popular right now in Japan at very least, or of the recent years. Yeah. And I think that's something that people often miss about pop. Something that often people don't understand about pop, especially when you get rock bands who occasionally turn poppier later in their career or at certain points, is that it's hard to, because I know obviously there's a lot of pop that's just cashing in. It's hard to get through to some people that actually, there are a lot of music artists who just actually do genuinely, if you ask them, if you scanned their brains to see what type of music they most genuinely enjoy, it is actually just what is popular at the time. That's just their taste. I guess that would make sense. It's pop music, it's popular music, but it's not just common denominator. It is something that some people are really into that sound and do actually genuinely like making that sound. So to me, I guess that would be what I'd say. These guys sound just comfortable doing this thing that is the thing of the time. So anyway, look, those are my opinions. Like I say, we tried to mix the subjective and the objective, the positive and negative, all that together. But now it's your time to get in the comments, maybe like and subscribe as well if you'd want to. And tell me what you think. Did you like this song? Did you dislike this song? Do you know the song? Do you not know the song? And if you want to get further into the conversation, as always, our various social medias like the Discord, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, they're all linked in the description below as well as our Patreon. Big thank you to you guys, as always. And anyway, thank you first and foremost to yourself for getting through to the end of this video. Much appreciation to you, and hopefully I'll see you again for another video soon in Japan. But until then, for now, ciao ciao.